Stuart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Irrespective of whether the National Park had done the work 4 or 5 years ago on barns, this policy would have just ignored that. So even if they said, yes, it's fine to convert 3 or 4 by the side of the road, it doesn't matter, because what they're suggesting is basically a free-for-all everywhere. So, quite frankly, whether the National Parks did it or didn't, they'd still be facing the same threat. There are 2 photos that I'll circulate of views.
Behind you. Oh, sorry,
views of the dales and the barns, and if the government's plan goes ahead, then what you will see is each of those little stone buildings will have its new roof lights, its driveway up, its parking for 3 cars, and all the other ancillary services that go there. And there's no way within the consultation that they're discussing any limit on that development. So whilst yes, it would be very important to have within the National Park a policy that allows barns to be converted and used for local people, there is no way that that can be applied in the current consultation process. So even if we say yes, they should be converting more barns, there's nothing they can do to then say that those barns must be made available to local people at affordable rents. They go on the open market. And the National Park's main concern in relation to that is that that will bring in second homeowners, retirement homes, and so that the need for young families with children to stay in the area and find employment and reinvigorate the park's population will be wiped out anyway, because these conversions will be expensive, the properties themselves will then become very expensive and will become highly desirable. So the government's got it completely and utterly wrong yet again. Yes, let's look at converting the barns, and I remember driving up and down when I was a member of the authority, the number of barns on the way in that were slowly being demolished and stones stripped away, that were by the roadside, could easily be converted. Yes, let's say, fine with that. But they'd also have a statutory purpose, which we don't have. And their statutory purpose is to conserve and enhance the landscape, wildlife and cultural heritage of the National Park. The government's proposals wipe that first statutory purpose off the books. So the National Park basically will cease to be a national park, because it will be like anywhere else. It will not be special, it will be destroyed, and that will be this government's legacy, because everybody uses the term, and we'll be able to say thank you so much, you've absolutely spoilt the few places that we've managed to preserve so far. It's wrong, and we need to be saying no, no, no. As for the issues on the conversions of properties in town centres into residential and everything else, look around Richmond. Look at the businesses that have come in, even when the businesses are closed, they've only been empty for a couple of months and another business has come in. Who's going to control when a business property is no longer viable? The National Park has a process for that, which works very well, and it's up to the applicants to clearly demonstrate the lack of economic viability of continuing that property as a business. This consultation doesn't allow for anything like that. So anybody can walk in and go, actually, number 33 in the marketplace, it's not viable as a retail premises, so I want a home. They're absolutely mad. Sorry.
Thank you, Peter. That is a clear advantage, of course, and Peter may want to respond. I think Councillor Buckley wanted to speak, and then Councillor Tyler.
It is one of the issues that I've actually been lobbied on quite a lot over the past few years. And I've had a diverse range of issues. I've been having walk last week from Newcombe to Keld. I would agree totally with one person who was lobbing me saying there should be no barn development. The spot barn in each field is part of the natural conservation heritage of Stuart, so admirably shown and is vital. But I've also been lobbied by various farmers, because Labour's right on the edge. People aren't sure sometimes if we're in Labour, one area or national parks. And I've had farmers tearing their hair out saying the agricultural building's not in use, the bloody sheep go in and out of it, therefore I'm told it is in use and I can't now develop it. It's not in use, it's a wasted source, it's right next to a road, it's starting to decay. The only thing I can do is let the roof fall in, because as soon as I mend the roof I'm told that it's now an agricultural building. Please, can we have a more flexible way of looking at development of agricultural buildings. So that basically is the two views that I've had from really quite a few people in there. Maybe it's a farm society or something, but it does seem to come up again and again and again. As it is proposed, this one here doesn't fulfil either the criteria of allowing the landscape to be protected at all, and it probably doesn't actually protect the farmer particularly, because you've still got in our area agricultural use issue. So the question 3, permitted development rights with no other ties and no other guidance, I think can't be accepted. So I would agree with the general views to date that we have to say no to this as it stands, but please can we have some other sensible farm development policy coming forward, not against it totally.
And that's exactly the way I think we need to be. Councillor Parsons.
I have to say I wholeheartedly support the comments that Stuart just made. I think they're very well made, very sound comments. I'm just looking at section 4.1 of the report, and it seems that the government are consulting on these proposals because they see them as potentially helping to make better use of existing buildings, support rural communities and high streets, provide new housing, and contribute to the provision of childcare for working families. Well, I'm sorry, Chair, but I thought we did that already. I thought we did all those things through our local plan process, and we did it through our planning officers and through our planning committee.
We do here in Richmondshire.
We do it already.
You don't necessarily in the park, that's the
Well,
issue.
it seems to me very strange, therefore, that the government feels that they have to, as with so many things, adopt a one-size-fits-all mentality and basically tell people in Richmondshire, tell people in a national park, tell people all over the country how it's going to be because they know what's best. I actually don't think that somebody sitting in Whitehall does know what's best in terms of planning policy and planning decisions, because I think those decisions should be taken to the local level by locally elected representatives taking all cognizance of the different views, from the people who actually live there. So I think it's just another example, as I say, of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as Mr. Parsons says, and having a one-size-fits-all mentality. Because quite clearly, what is in the interests of the national park, there will not necessarily be the same as in the interests of Richmondshire planning area, will not be the same as Suffolk, will not be the same as Devon. And these decisions need to be taken by local people. So I'm very, very concerned. We did have a debate, obviously, with the planning committee, and again, that's all mentioned in the report. And we're very supportive of the appendix to section 5, the key issues, which Mr. Parsons has mentioned, and having a response based on that.
The response you need to see, we haven't seen it yet, and you're about to put it together, things have you said it out yet or not?
Not yet.
Okay. Paul.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to return to the shops and the town centres, when we make our submission, I would like some explanation as to why the government has spent rafts of our money to save the town centres, and now it's then happily going to convert the shops to houses. I mean, it's a complete turnaround. And I think somewhere in our submission we should be stating that fact. Thank you, Chair.
Stuart.
I was thinking along those lines. They spent all this money with Mrs. Porter's about reinvigorating high streets and town centres and everything else. They've spoken quite eloquently, really, about protecting them and encouraging town centres and so on. But what they're actually saying with this consultation is, oh, we got the complete Porter's project wrong. Porter's project was a plonker, and we've wasted that money, doesn't matter, just let's undo the whole process. What is the point? Where's the joined up thinking? Where's the solid approach to what they should be doing to sustain local communities and encourage economic activity in their hearts? It doesn't exist. It's just anything goes for anybody with no rhyme or reason behind any of this.